What happens when auto tariffs hit hard? And suddenly, big names like Nissan rethink their entire US strategy. With Asian automakers pulling at least 40% of their revenue from America, it's no surprise they're doubling down here. Hyundai, for example, now earns 60% of its global profits from the US. That's serious reliance. But can building SUVs like the Armada and QX80 in Tennessee shield Nissan from rising costs and layoffs? And what about car prices? Would an extra $2,000 sway your buying decision? Let's get started on how these changes impact your wallet and your next car. If you're into global auto moves, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. So, here's something big. Nissan is seriously considering moving production of the Armada and Infiniti QX80 SUVs from Japan to Canton, Mississippi. Why? Because of the 25% auto import tariffs imposed by the Trump administration in April 2025. Now, that's a pretty hefty tax, right? Nissan already announced a $500 million investment back in early 2022 to transform Canton into an electric vehicle hub. Now, this same site might also handle these two large SUVs. How do you feel about Japanese-made vehicles being produced in the US? Moving these SUVs to Mississippi would help Nissan avoid present and future tariffs and ramp up production to meet American demand. But it's not without challenges. For starters, retooling Canton would cost several $100 million more. Supply chain capacity is another issue. Competitors have already taken up a lot of available supplier capacity. What kind of SUVs would you prefer? Imports or locally built? Let's talk about it. This move underlines how global trade policies shape what kind of cars we drive and where they're made. Now, let's get into the heart of why Nissan's making these shifts. Did you know Nissan has already halted US production of 3 vehicle models for Canada due to mutual tariffs? That includes the Pathfinder, Murano, and Frontier, which are built in Tennessee and Mississippi. Nissan said this is a short-term and temporary measure, while US-Canada trade talks happen. But here's the twist. Canada accounts for just 3% of Nissan's global sales, around 104,000 vehicles last year. How would you handle this if you were running Nissan? The bigger issue is financial. Nissan reported a $4.5 billion net loss for the year ending March and faces $4.79 billion in debt coming due. On top of that, its debt ratings have been downgraded to junk status. Nissan's even asking suppliers to delay payments just to free up short-term funds. Does this make you rethink buying from a struggling car maker, or do you see these as normal bumps in the business world? Tariffs aren't just affecting car prices, they're impacting automakers' financial survival too. Here's something to chew on. North America makes up at least 40% of revenue for Toyota and Hyundai, according to their filings. That's why, despite these tariffs, Asian automakers aren't scaling back US business. Toyota sold 2.3 million vehicles in the US in 2024, including Lexus models. Hyundai? It now earns about 60% of its profits from the US market. Do you think Japanese and Korean automakers rely too heavily on American buyers? Even as tariffs raise costs, Asian automakers like Mazda, Hyundai, Kia, and Honda are holding firm. 2 Hyundai insiders confirmed to Reuters they're not backing down. It's all about protecting their market share, especially since China's EV market is dominated by domestic players like BYD. Mazda's executive Noriyuki Takemura called it a harsh and uncertain environment. How would you balance between cutting costs and staying aggressive in a tough market? What car brands do you trust more, those standing strong or those retreating? It's a moment of resilience and strategy for these global players. Ever heard the term game of chicken applied to car pricing? That's what analysts are calling it now. Asian automakers aren't raising prices right away despite lower profitability. Instead, they're focusing on taking market share from weaker rivals like Nissan and Stellantis. Analyst Kim Sung-rae said, "Those who will hold up well will emerge as winners." It's a race to see who can handle these tariffs without scaring off customers. Automakers also face a surge in hybrid demand, especially since EVs come with charging concerns. Toyota, Hyundai, and Kia have strong hybrid lineups, giving them an edge. Do you lean more toward hybrids now, or are you still Team EV? Meanwhile, investors are wondering if tariffs might force car makers like Nissan to revive merger talks with Honda. Could consolidation solve these problems? Mazda and Subaru already have ties with Toyota. What do you think? Are mergers the future of the auto industry under tariffs? If this hit the spot, subscribe so you don't miss a single moment. Let's talk dollars and infrastructure. Japanese automakers have invested over $66 billion in U.S. manufacturing since the 1980s, building around 24 plants. Hyundai announced a $21 billion investment plan in March 2025, including boosting production to 1.2 million vehicles a year. Do you think that level of commitment pays off in the long run? Analysts like Justinas Luima believe tariffs encourage Asian automakers to expand U.S. production and localize supply chains. Plus, don't forget the 100% U.S. tariff on Chinese EVs. That means Japanese and Korean brands don't face Chinese competition here as they do elsewhere. Would you feel better about buying a car made in the U.S. under these conditions? It's not just about scaling up. One Japanese executive said, "It's a game changer." Labor costs are higher in the U.S., so automakers must balance investment with profitability. Pelham Smithers analyst Julie Boot warned that some companies haven't even factored these tariffs fully into their earnings forecasts yet. Are you prepared for even higher car prices soon? What's your budget for a new car looking like these days? Ready for some real-world numbers? Since the 25% auto tariffs took effect in April 2025, average new vehicle prices have jumped 2.5% last month alone, according to Cox Automotive. Normally, April only sees about 1.1% growth. Manufacturers like Ford have already announced mid-year price increases, up to $2,000 more for certain Mustang Mach-E models. But Ford says, "We have not passed on the full cost of tariffs to our customers." Do you believe them, or would a $1,500 hike stop you from buying? Industry experts like Carl Brower insist, if tariffs exist, higher prices are guaranteed. Toyota, for example, estimates $1.2 billion in tariff-related costs for just April and May. Honda expects around $4.4 billion in losses for the year. Nissan's making big cuts, 11,000 layoffs on top of 9,000 already announced. Does all this make you rethink how much you're willing to pay for a car? And how about considering a used car instead of a new one to avoid those rising costs? Lastly, let's zoom in on Nissan's actual U.S. operations. At its Smyrna, Tennessee plant, 6 million square feet, it can produce 640,000 vehicles annually. Right now, it's running 2 shifts with about 5,700 workers. Production's ramping up, especially for the Rogue, Nissan's top U.S. seller. Do you think increasing domestic production will save Nissan? Over in Canton, Mississippi, where Nissan already builds the Altima and Frontier, there are around 5,000 workers. Canton might soon add the Armada and QX80 if Nissan finalizes those plans. But it'll take time, money, and more shifts. Nissan's U.S. capacity totals over 1 million vehicles per year, plus 1.4 million engines. Can that scale keep Nissan competitive against bigger players like Toyota? Nissan's strategy also includes reducing prices on Rogue and Pathfinder by up to $2,000 and pausing some U.S. orders for Mexican-built Infiniti SUVs. Do you think price cuts can balance out tariff costs? In a fast-shifting auto landscape, Nissan's U.S. production gamble spotlights how tariffs reshape global strategies and your next car's price tag. From rising costs to factory expansions, Asian automakers are betting big on America, navigating financial strain and market dominance. Whether these bold moves protect jobs or raise sticker prices depends on smart execution and consumer trust. Stay informed. Subscribe now and join the conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you pay more for a car made closer to home, or stick with imports?